John chapter 10. Most assuredly I say to you, he who does not enter the sheepfold by the door, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. But he who enters by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he brings out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Yet they will by no means follow a stranger, but will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of strangers. Jesus used this illustration, but they did not understand the things which he spoke to them.
So who is this good shepherd guy?
So check this out. We are in John chapter 10, verse 2, which says, "He who enters the sheepfold by the door is the shepherd of the sheep." So here's the cool thing. Jesus, he is both the door to get into the sheepfold, but he is also the shepherd, the good shepherd that comes in to lead his sheep. Trust Jesus. He is so good. He has made a way to get into the sheep by dying on that cross for us, but he's also leading us. He is leading us by example, teaching us, washing our feet, dying on the cross, dying to his will. His will is going to die so that he can follow his Father's will. It's all about Jesus. Follow him. He loves you so much. He is worth following. I sure love you guys.
I don't know if Jesus really knows my name.
So check this out. We're in John chapter 10, verse 3, where it says, this is Jesus, he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. It seems like there's actually this very personal, intimate relationship where the Savior of the entire world, he is that good shepherd. He actually knows each of his sheep. He knows us by name. He cares about what's going on in your life and in my life. He cares if you start going astray and going somewhere else. And he wants to protect you. It's not that he wants to slap you because you did something bad. He wants to bring you back in because he loves you. He knows he can protect you if you stay in the sheepfold. If you stay with him, you will be safe. Your spirit will be safe and the enemy cannot take you away. I sure love you guys.
What does the voice of Jesus sound like?
Check this out. We're in John chapter 10, verse 4, where it says, "They, the sheep, follow him, for they know his voice." Whose voice? The voice of the good shepherd. How do they hear his voice? Do you hear his voice? How are we going to? Get into his word. It's packed full from Genesis through Revelation. It is packed full of Jesus showing us his voice, showing us his heart. In the Old Testament, giving us physical examples of spiritual truths, physical examples of how we need a Savior, how he's going to take care of death. In the New Testament, it shows us how he takes care of death by Jesus on the cross, showing us how it's all going to work together. Listen for his voice. Get into his word today and hear it, read it to hear his voice. I sure love you guys.